Preview because that's what I do. And we're going to talk about this MLG competitive pro series thing going on right now. There's this pro. I mean, if you're not watching it, it's pretty good. There's some pluses and minuses to this whole thing, but maybe they're just COD championships where they gave away $1 million. I think was kind of messed up. They should have had a climax going into July. They should wait until July or right before school to do the Call of Duty championships, for $1 million, and then build up MLG for rankings for teams to get there to play for that $1 million. Instead of having the $1 million in the beginning, I thought that would have been a lot better. Another thing that I noticed too, and I don't know if this is a plus or a minus situation, is that the left side of the MLG brackets were like top heavy with great teams, and then the right side of the bracket was like not so top teams. I mean, but the plus thing to that is this: you have some really great matches in the beginning. And before, when we used to watch MLG gaming live streams on Twitch, they would be really boring. You didn't know the teams, and now I like these showcase gameplays or matches that are early and often. I think that's important to this gaming community for MLG pro gaming for Call of Duty. Now, as far as like Call of Duty as a MLG gaming staple lasting, I don't know. To this I say this, and that's a double negative. I say that Call of Duty, is a little late on this situation because there's just so many IPs coming out, and I think that this Anaheim is a small turning point, but the fact that they've waited so long to go to another event, from COD Champions to Anaheim, it was like 3 or 4 months. I don't even know. I mean, that shit, I forgot. And so by the time this has happened, I just got bored, and I lost interest. And with the new IPs coming out and the direction that this going in, they could have did this a lot more frequenting and more events happening. I wish that would have happened just to keep the people's interest into it. I think this is a small turning point, but I think it's a little a little too late. And I think that if they would have did it to where they had the small MLG events early on, and then the COD Championship at the end, and then the release of the new game, and then back to MLG again. And see, that would have built momentum, and it would have kept people interested, and maybe that would have built a big enough crowd to support the Call of Duty franchise. But, you personally, the way I feel about it. Here I'm using the SMR with a laser sight. I was showing some people in the stream shooting off the hip with a laser sight. How this weapon could, the laser sight constricts the reticle so you can shoot off the hip. I mean, it's just a novelty. It's nothing that it would be mainstay. It's nothing that you could get it to work really well. It'd probably die out really fast, but it's just something you can have fun with. If you like to shoot off the hip, one-shot kills. Like, why would I use the SMR when I could use the FAL? I mean, those type of things. But, hopefully, I don't know if doing MLG for David Vonderhaar and Treyarch and their whole office was, a distraction of helping the total population, and I don't know what the end game is, where they think that this is going to take them, because they should have did this when the game first came out, within Black Ops 1. They should have taken care of it, or maybe better yet, Modern Warfare 2. They should have taken care of the pro community when it was very hot. Can you imagine the amount of attention this game would have if they put in the work they put in now back in Modern Warfare 2? But that's just not the way it's going to work. And it's sad to say that I think that Call of Duty is going to take the same path that Halo 2 has taken. I think that there's just too many IPs, and the pro gaming community, in quotation marks, although there's a following, I don't think there's enough people that would buy Call of Duty with the notion that they could be, an Optic Gaming or Farico Impact or whatever. I don't think that I don't think they can visualize seeing themselves there, because you're talking a lot of work, 70 hours a week, and in the way we live now in the social stratosphere, I mean, it's just everything is now, and if you don't get it, and kids don't like to put in the work and they die really fast, they're not gonna want to do it. And I think people would just rather move on to something else. And I think if they would have took care of the casual community and fixed the game properly, and gave more attention to the bigger crowds of people who purchase the game, I think there would be room for this to grow. But as it stands right now, I don't think that this is going to garner this support and the patronage from the casual community to keep purchasing the game to support their idea of pro gaming. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the IPs are going to die out, and that's going to be the end of it. It's sad, but true. So get the fuck out of here.